Hey y'all, how you doing? All right, we're back out in the garage again, and going to work on the 318 a little bit, the $50 318, doing more of the mock-up on that. Basically, I'm going to be specifically working on just the bracket for the power steering pump. Now, let me address a couple of things before we go much further. I've already cut out the plate. It's just a plate. I've already cut it out. I already realized that it's going to push the power steering pump out a little bit. So I'm going to have to go on the back side of the pump bracket, that is, and cut a little bit off that. So, or grind a little bit off of that. So I'm using my template I made out of the cardboard. If you'll come over here, I'll show you what I'm talking about. So there's the $50 318 sitting there. And here is my bracket that I've made. As you can see, I've already marked the holes here, and I've cut the plate out to fit the template. I've just got this clamped to the top of my workbench. So I think I'm going to go ahead and do some drilling and maybe drill at least a couple of holes here and get that centered up. So I think I'm going to do that next. So while I do that, before I do that, I just want to say a big, huge thank you to all of you all that have subscribed to the channel. It's just massive. It's like really, really just almost overwhelming. I know, really, it is overwhelming. So yeah. So you have to understand, I'm not a very arrogant person. I don't really like arrogance in people. So I don't really expect, people to be like, jumping up and subscribing, because I'm not one of those people. I'm more of a, hey, I'm gonna put this out, and if you like it, subscribe. That's basically my thing. But if you do like what I'm doing, subscribe, because if this works, you'll get to learn how to do this, or get to learn how I do it anyway. So, and I think it will. I think it'll work. So, I'm gonna pause this video for just a minute, and then I'm gonna get back home and drill the holes out. Okay, be right back. Okay, y'all, you're looking at the bracket I made. It's nothing really glamorous or all that special. This is just a piece of metal I cut out. I have I have a larger piece of flat metal that I cut this out of. As you can see, it's somewhat thick. I'll in a minute I'll get my calipers out and I'll give you a measurement on the thickness. But I wanted to go ahead and show you some little tips on drilling through metal. One is don't overspeed your drill. Okay. Secondly, don't let the drill bit cut through the metal dull, or basically you want to use a nice sharp drill bit. Okay. Using a dull drill bit, you're just going to wear your drill out. It's going to take longer. It's just going to be a real big problem. Don't let this go in there and start drilling dry either. Okay, so when you start a hole, okay, just start a little indentation in the metal, and then add a little bit of oil. Secondly, but probably most importantly, you want to get yourself a center punch and a hammer, and just punch yourself a little hole, little dimple, not hole, but dimple in the metal. Okay, pretty simple stuff. Not very many places to set y'all up here so that you can see what I'm doing, but maybe I can. Okay, so get you all set up here. Yeah, my camera wants to fall over. So all right. So you can see right there what I'm talking about. Now I've got this clamped to my bench here because it's just a little easier to do it with the plate facing up at me. Whoop, had to catch my camera. So you see what I'm talking about. Okay, now we're going to do the other one here. Another one. This one right here. You just want to make a tiny little indentation. That way the tip of the drill bit has something to follow, has something to go into. Another thing is, make sure that you do this. Safety glasses, okay? I talk about it a lot, but cheap, easy, simple, okay? Another thing, learn from my mistakes. Don't do this. You see that? That's a towel. You know why the towel's there, or an old shirt? It's because I'm wearing sandals. Yeah. Hot metal hitting your bare feet doesn't feel good. So, yeah, big surprise, right? Okay. I'm going to drill these other three holes out. Now, one more other thing. One thing I wanted to share with you is, yes, you can go ahead and drill the holes out to the final size right up front. But I don't recommend it. Here's why. If you do, what's going to happen is this right here. Let's see. This larger drill bit is going to take longer to get through the metal than a smaller drill bit. See? So, that's what I wanted to show you. When you're doing this fabrication work, use all the little tricks that you can to make the job a little bit easier on yourself. Another thing is, these drill bits, they're by Milwaukee, and they have this hex on the end of them, which I really, really like. It's really nice. Keeps the drill bit from slipping inside the chuck. Okay? Alright. So, I'll tell you what, here, I'll let you see me do a little bit of drilling here real quick. Alright, so we'll get started on that. Alright. Okay, there we go, there's that. I made a little indentation in the metal right there. Put a little oil in there. That way, we're not drilling dry. Okay, there we go. We are through. Now I'll go back. Now for some of y'all, this is old news. This is old hat. For some of y'all, though, this is maybe not so much old news. So, now, we'll go in here with a bigger bit, and we're going to put a little bit of oil around the outer edge of the hole. Just a little bit of oil, not a great deal. We don't need buckets of dripping on it. Okay, there we go. See how quick that was? This bit cut right through that metal. Really, really quick. When you use the oil to lubricate the end of the drill bit, when you're drilling, it makes the job quicker, makes it faster, and the drill bit lasts longer. Okay? Alright, I'm going to drill these other two holes. Be right back. Okay, y'all, we're back, and I want to show you the finished product here. Somewhat of the finished product, let's just say that. Have the big long curlicue there, piece of metal. Okay, one other thing I wanted to mention is when you are drilling, be sure to have a good solid grip on the drill, because this can catch. Okay, the drill bit can catch, and it causes the drill to want to rip it out of your hands. Oh, look at there. How about that? That is also something you need to be aware of with these hand grip drill chucks. Make sure your drill bit is very secure in the chuck. So, just a couple of things. Also, I could have used a step drill bit. I have one. I just didn't feel like it was necessarily the best plan of action for this particular piece here. Okay, so anyway, all right, let's get this off my feet. Okay, should have thought about that, but oh well. Anyway, okay, let's get all the metal shavings off. Then we're going to do a little test bolt up here and see how this is going to work out. All right, so. Oh, if you're doing any fabrication, something like this, really, really nice to have, okay? So, just one of those little tools you can, if you're fabricating, you just can't hardly live without them. Also, of course, you got my vice grips here. These were from Tractor Supply, I believe, and they were pretty inexpensive. So, yeah, they're not like vice grip brand. They're probably some cheap Chinesium or something like that, I guess. But anyway, so all right, there we go. Now we'll just do a little bit more cleaning up here on this just to get it looking better. Okay, that's looking a little better. All right, now we can see here, kind of shaped like a state there, almost like California maybe. But anyway, hey, happy accident there. Anyway, there's the other side. That's what the metal, it's been sitting outside for a long time, so I'll tell you what. Let's see, we'll measure it there and see what kind of thickness we're talking about. Get out my calipers here. Zero them out. Okay. Let's see. Looks like 127. Yeah. 127 hundredths of an inch, or thousandths of an inch. 0.127, okay? Anyway. So pretty thin, you know, it's thicker than some metal, but not as thick as some stuff I could use. And which leads me to something, and that is that, yes, could have made it out of thicker metal. Probably wouldn't have had to do any bracing. But thicker metal means that this is going to be a little harder to work with. It's going to take a little more time to drill these holes and cut it out and shape it and everything like that. Another thing is, when you are doing this, go through and just round off your edges here, at least somewhat, okay? Because when you're working with this, you'll cut your fingers and everything, okay? So, anyway, all right. Let's go over here to the 318 and see what we've got. Is this a mess? Or is it even close? Or what? So, let's look here and see. All right. Set you all over here on the truck. And I'm going to expand the picture. I'll enlarge the picture here just a little bit. Now you get a close up of my arm hair. There we go. There we go. Let's see. There we go. All right, so here we go. All right, well, I see one area I need to trim up on, and already, and let's see. My holes down here are pretty close, so, which is not bad, but I need a light down there. I need some better light. So, okay, I'll let you all see what I'm seeing down here. So, all right. Alright, so the holes down here at the bottom, they're pretty close, but I need to trim right there because it's hitting the timing cover right there. So that's what I gotta do. I gotta trim that down, grind it or cut it off. Probably cut it off and then do a little grinding on it. So, alright, then maybe get that thing in shape there. Oh, I went and got brand new idler pulley, found the bolt and the special washer that goes in that, got those on. Go ahead and get that done. Let's see, I'm also going to check the power steering bracket, pump bracket on this and see how this all lines up together. Okay, alrighty, so back up here, back you all up. Okay, take this off. Before I go any further, I'm going to mark this to let me know what I need to do, what I need to take off here. So I'm just going to be pretty liberal here. Cut quite a bit of that off. Yeah, there we go. All right. Actually, I may just go a little bit crazier. Yeah, like that. Okay. Now see, there's my marks right there. Now remember, I know that you might think this might be a little too thin, but I'm going to brace it probably at this bracket right here, this ear here on the block where the engine mount brackets bolt on. So I'm going to brace it right there. So, all right, next is the power steering pump. Let's make sure that's going to work. So, all right. So, okay. Yeah, this is the way it would be on the engine right here. Okay, this is really good. I have one hole that is misaligned. This one right here. So, yeah, I have 3 holes that are lining up perfectly. So, I mean, they are just dead on. Like these 3, they are spot on. This one, just off just a little bit. So, you know what? This isn't bad. This isn't bad at all. I'm liking what I'm seeing so far. Okay? So, I'm going to I'm going to do a little trimming on this, and I'm going to get right back in here and make sure this fits on the 318. So be right back. Okay, y'all, as you can see, I've cut the extra metal off down here, and that bolt fits in really nice. This bolt is fitting in really nice here. This one, not so much. Yeah, as you can see, not exactly lining up. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to re-drill. Basically, I'm going to have to make this hole bigger. I'm probably going to use a step bit. It's not the best situation there, but you know, when you're doing this sort of thing, you have to come up with the situation. You have to come up with a solution, you know, on your own sometimes. So that's the way it is. So, oops, turned it around. Hey, look, I've got my earmuffs on. I was cutting with that die grinder and using, not die grinder, but I was using my angle grinder, and very, very noisy. So, all right, let me turn this, set this up here so you can see what I'm going to do. On this hole here, we need to move up here. So I'm just going to mark the upper portion there. Okay, I'm not going to mark down here. I'm just going to mark the upper portion. Maybe I'll even put myself an arrow. So there we go. Okay, now got to do same thing for one of these holes here for the power steering pump. So I'm going to put it back on the power steering pump and check that out again. So, all right. So you've seen what I'm going to do here. Hold on just a minute. All right, y'all. We're back, and as you can see, I've got both of those holes worked out. Yes, that one hole there that upper one had to be elongated quite a bit, but I got it. Okay, so I've got all of these holes figured out too. And I know I don't have anything in that right now. It's not really all that important. I'm just getting things mocked up for everything else here. But this is a success. I'm really happy about that. So next, I'm going to have to, probably, like I said, I'm probably going to have to make a bracket. Maybe even just take a simple bolt and go from here with a spacer and go right through that ear right there. I don't know. We'll have to see. Also, I'm going to have to come over here to the other side and do something similar for this tensioner right here. So, the way the tensioner is right now, it's not bad. It really, really isn't. It's not in horrifically bad position, but it's not in the best position. So, I've got to come up with something for that too as well. So I'm probably going to use maybe part of this original bracket here, and but I don't know right now at this point for sure. I've just got to come up with something in my head and then go from there. So that's what I'm going to do. As I don't know if you can see or not, but you can see I've got just a spacer holding it on right now. Just one bolt with a spacer in there. So, yeah. Okay, that's not the best arrangement, but, yeah. Okay. But, like I said in a prior video, I can also come up with a better situation for this, where I can make a bracket that maybe this bolts to and straightens this thing up, because it's not necessarily correct or straight right now, and get this thing to where it's a little more straight with all the pulleys here. But I've got to come up with something, but I will, and in the meantime, I'll just keep chugging along on this and keep working on this. So, all right. But this is a success over here. So, yes, I will paint this and make this look nice and pretty and everything like that, and it'll be great. Let's see, valve cover, gasket, valve cover. How close are we to the valve cover? We are very, very, very close to the valve cover. I can cut this upper portion off right here, but of this bracket off. But I may just tweak the valve cover. The valve covers that are going to go on this. So, all right. I'm really happy. This has been productive. It took a little while to get everything worked out, but it's been very productive. So, all right. I would like to say thank you for watching. Thank you so much for watching this video and enduring through all of this with me. But I hope you've been able to learn something about fabrication, at least some of the basics. Okay, the using a piece of metal to do all this and everything like that. Using the cardboard, that saved me a tremendous amount of time. I mean, usually in the past it would be something like I would come up with some idea for a bracket, and then I would be like, already going to metal and drilling the holes and trying to measure and everything like that, and it would never really work. The cardboard, use the cardboard. That is the way. Okay, not to necessarily quote the Mandalorian, but hey, that is the way. So anyway, all right. So I thank you so much, and I really do appreciate you watching and listening and sharing and the comments and feedback and everything like that. Really, really helpful. Really, really nice. I love that. Love that interaction. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this video up, and I really appreciate you all. And have a great day. Bye-bye. God bless.